conservative pundit and author Ann Coulter was treated unfairly by Delta Airlines over the weekend, and after a campaign by Coulter to find out what happened, it was revealed to all come down to liberal hatred. Coulter, who is a frequent flyer and 6 feet tall, booked an extra legroom seat. However, she was approached by a Delta attendant who rudely took away her ticket. Now, that attendant just got a nasty surprise that she won't soon forget. And Coulter isn't backing down from her unfortunate experience on Delta Airlines. Anne's got a huge problem with what went down, and her biggest problem has boiled down to the question why? After being told she had no choice but to give up her extra legroom seat, Anne found that the woman who was seated in her place had zero problems. It was not an elderly person, a sickly person, a very tall person, Coulter told the hosts of Fox and Friends. It's been 3 days now, and Delta still hasn't given an explanation, much less an apology. She added, I mean, they've had 4 days to investigate. Why did they do this? She later griped. Yes, it's not the worst thing in the world, but is it that hard for Delta employees to simply be polite and simply give passengers the seat that they booked? Is that such a high hurdle? She asked rhetorically. It was before boarding, I'd picked out the seat I wanted. I was in the waiting area, boarding area, for 90 minutes, Coulter explained on Tuesday. And then as I was boarding, the ticket agent snatched the ticket out of my hand and said, no, we've given you a different seat. And I said, why? And she said, emergency. Taking to her Twitter account, Anne did what she does best. She targeted Delta Airlines like she targets liberal loons. Making snarky comments, Anne was helping to get an apology or at least an explanation. It seemed like Anne smelled something was fishy about her treatment, sensing it was politically motivated. It is why she went so hardcore at Delta, to uncover the truth. The New York Daily News reports, Coulter would have gladly moved for an elderly person or air marshal, she added, and only tweeted a photo of the Dachshund-legged woman who landed the coveted seat because she knew Delta would lie about it. The pundit wound up trying to sit in her original seat anyway, she told Fox and Friends. There, she was told by a Delta attendant to just move. Finally, the Twitter account activity paid off. A Delta employee, who identified herself as a Republican, messaged Anne with all the dirt about what happened to her. She related that they are just being jerks and singled out the conservative pundit because they hate her. The anonymous GOP Delta employee said on several secret Facebook groups that she confronted those who said they were responsible. They finally admitted to targeting Anne on purpose, the Delta employee wrote. Anne immediately tweeted it out, giving the rude attendant a nasty surprise, exposing her nefarious motives. Now, that message is going viral on Twitter, and there's little doubt that those at Delta, who has been watching the online social media posts closely, will have to react. The only reason these Delta employees would target Ann Coulter is over their leftist beliefs. Anne's event at Berkeley is what started the Antifa thugs to riot, and that was a huge news story. It's always the liberal losers who make a huge deal out of being mistreated. It's time we take a page out of their playbook and fight back. No, this wasn't a major catastrophe, but getting targeted for your political beliefs has no place in America. Please share the story and tell us what you think by clicking one of the buttons below. We want to hear your voice.